and welcome to the 5th Trans-Border Conference dedicated to the cohesion policy of the European Union and organized by the Bulgarian News Agency in the framework of the project Europe in the Balkans, a common future. Today we are in Thessaloniki, Greece, but at the same time we are together with our colleagues, partners and friends in Blagoevgrad, Bulgaria. Let me remind you that the first Trans-Border Conference, Europe in the Balkans, was organized in January in Bucharest, Romania and Russe. It was followed by our meetings in Edirne, Turkey, and Haskovo, in Skopje, North Macedonia and Kyustendil, and the last one was in Bosilegrad, Serbia. Today here in Thessaloniki we are honored by the presence of Mr. Emilios Perdikaris, the chairman of the board of the Athens Macedonian News Agency, of the Consul General of Bulgaria, Mr. Anton Markov, of Mrs. Maria Nezeriti, head of the Managing Authority Interreg 2021-2027, and of our speakers, Mrs. Aphroditi Lioliou from the Managing Authority, Mr. Stavros Sakos, Mrs. Petrola Mendizi, and Mrs. Evgeni Thomaidou from Egnatia Odos, Professor Grigorios Zarotiadis from the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki, Mr. Paschalis Psaltopoulos from the Natural Environment and Climate Change Agency, Mr. Theodoros Papadopoulos, President of the Central Market of Thessaloniki, Mrs. Ioana Macri from the non-profit child welfare organization, The Smile of the Child, and Mr. Kostas Yiannopoulos, President of the organization, who will join us online from Athens. I'm sure I could say a lot about the importance of the cross-border cooperation and about the value of the project, but I will leave this to our speakers. I'd have to kindly ask everybody to be as brief as possible and to the point, because the presentations are many and interesting, and we have to leave time for the participants from Blagoevgrad. Now I'd like to give the floor to Mr. Kirill Volchev, Director General of the Bulgarian News Agency, to say some introductory words and to give the official start of the conference.
Dear Mr. Perdikaris, dear Mr. Markov, dear guests, dear colleagues, the common future of Greece and Bulgaria also passes through information connectivity. We have a common border which must be fully opened as soon as possible, and therefore together we must insist that Bulgaria be part of Schengen Agreement for free land travel of people and goods. We have common waters, rivers that flow from Bulgaria to Greece, and agriculture in northern Greece depends on them, but also connected seas through which goods, oil and gas come, as Bulgaria is interested in participating in the development of the ports in Aegean Sea, in Alexandroupolis and Kavala, as well as to use the port of Thessaloniki. We have common roads, highways and railways, which we need to modernize and build new ones together. We mostly have, let's say, common people, Bulgarians and Greeks, who travel to the other country for tourism, business, education, culture events. Greece and Bulgaria have many more things in common, and information about them helps to be closer, as well as for positive pressure from the societies on the rulers in both countries to develop connectivity. BTA works for the common future of information connectivity on the Balkans. The choice of the European Commission, BTA, to organize this joint project on cohesion policies and the common future on the Balkans is right, because for 126 years, be in the name of our agency means not only Bulgaria, but also Balkan. Balkan News has been present in BTA since its first day on the 6th news on February 16, 1898, two of which were from Constantinople and Athens. There has been an independent department for the Balkan countries in the agency since 1951. Since 1973, BTA has also announced Athlete of the Balkans, a ranking that it makes with the participation of the sports editorial offices of all Balkan news agencies. In September 2022, BTA became the headquarters of the Association of Balkan News Agencies, Southeastern Europe, in which 12 agencies participate. The first president of the Registrate Association became the Director General of Greek National News Agency, ANA-MPA, Mr. Emilius Perdikaris, who is one of the most active people for this Balkan unification. BTA is responsible for the update of website of ABNA, in which every day there is one news item in English from each Balkan agency, a member of the association. One of BTA's first agreement for the daily exchange of news with National News Agency was with the Athens Macedonian News Agency, because information is the basis of any understanding, and that is why BTA makes great efforts to provide more knowledge for Bulgaria's neighbors. The agency is expanding the network of permanent correspondent offices. There are such in Skopje in the Republic of North Macedonia, Bucharest in Romania, and Ankara in Turkey, and plans to add more in Athens in Greece and Belgrade in Serbia, and in the future also here in Thessaloniki. In Bosilegrad, Serbia, and Istanbul, Turkey, the agency also has correspondent stringers. The goal is for BTA's correspondents everywhere on the Balkans to have a national press club, which will be a media center for meeting and events. Over the past 3 years, BTA has covered with special correspondents all significant events in the Balkans: elections, economic forum, including the Thessaloniki Fair, sports events. Thanks to its correspondents on the Balkans, BTA shares Balkan news with the rest of the world through partner agencies around the world, and also through the European Newsroom, a platform for cooperation between European news agencies, in which it has participated since its first day and later joined by ANA-MPA. This successively spread by BTA of information from the Balkans is a continuation of the policy of Bulgaria, which dedicated its first presidency of the Council of the European Union in 2018 to the enlargement of the Union to the Western Balkans, as well as the common European policy to promote the development of the regional cooperation through funding with cross-border cohesion funds. And today, here in Thessaloniki, we will talk about the efforts to ensure more connectivity through their funds, because the Balkans still have a lot to do for their proximity in the transport of people, goods, and energy with rail links, highways, power lines, gas and oil pipelines. For the common future of the Balkans in Europe, however, information connectivity is particularly important, for which information agencies have a great responsibility. This was discussed last Saturday at the 9th edition of Delphi Economic Forum, in which we participated together with Mr. Perdikaris. We are having this conversation 3 weeks before Easter, and therefore I will point out that on the Balkans we are fated for a common future in Europe, and because of our connection through the common faith, as for centuries we carry God in our hearts in the same way. Greece, the Republic of North Macedonia, Romania and Serbia are Orthodox countries like Bulgaria, and Turkey keeps many Christian shrines, including in Constantinople, the seat of one of the Orthodox patriarchs. Together, we also honor Saint Demetrius, whose relics are kept in the church dedicated to him in Thessaloniki, and the Saint Brothers Cyril and Methodius, who created the first Bulgarian script were born here. Therefore, we more humility, to which the common faith calls us in these days, with God's help, we will have a better common future based on the values in Christianity on which Europe has stepped. And these values all have a common human character because they are in other religions. In conclusion, I wish that this conversation in Thessaloniki about the joint project between Greece and Bulgaria be as specific as possible. Bulgarian poet Atanas Dalchev, who was born in Thessaloniki exactly 120 years ago, says that we must stick to concrete things. They protect us from general phrases and big but empty words. And the Greek poet Manolis Anagnostakis, whose birth in Thessaloniki 100 years ago we will celebrate next year, says something similar. Like nails, words must be nailed so that the wind does not blow them away. Thank you so much.
Now let's hear Mr. Emilios Perdikaris, chairman of the board of the Athenian News Agency, who is at the same time our guest, but in a certain sense our host, because we are on his territory. Please, Mr. Perdikaris.
Thank you very much. Thank you, everyone, and I welcome you all in Thessaloniki. I'm happy to be here, although there is a strike of journalists today, and our journalists, our colleagues, are not here, and I don't want to show you that I'm breaking this strike, but I'm here, and I'd like to thank Kirill for the invitation, because I think it's very important for all to be here, as we have a very fruitful cooperation, not only bilateral cooperation with our agencies, as well as cooperation in the framework of all institutions, European and Balkan institutions, like the one you just mentioned, ABNA SC, EANA, and others. And that's why I'd like to stress that all European programs are important today. And they are important because they have two aspects. The first aspect is what we do, what we are doing in our agencies, because I want to tell you that we're running the same program in Athens Macedonian News Agency about the Cohesion Fund and its promotion. It's important because you know that we are public agencies, which means that we have limited resources. And we're trying to find new resources, we're trying to find new ways to get money, but here comes the other aspect, which is to inform people about European activity and in what way Europe, European Union, and all its institutions are involved in our everyday life, like the Cohesion Fund, which is responsible, let's say, responsible for a lot of works, a lot of ways they are doing our everyday life better and better. So it's important also to strengthen cooperation in the European Union, and this cooperation is not referred only to the framework of the Union, as well as in the framework of our agencies, of our news companies. That's why we're trying to enhance this cooperation, and I'm sure that we will do it in the future. I wish you good luck today at your event, and I hope that we will have the chance to cooperate in other European programs in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Perdikaris. Today here with us is the Consul General of Bulgaria in Thessaloniki, Mr. Anton Markov, and I believe his presence says a lot about the importance that our country attaches to the cross-border cooperation. Please, Mr. Markov.
Ladies and gentlemen, dear Mr. Volchev, dear Mr. Perdikaris, dear Mrs. Nezaridi, I'm very pleased to take participation in one, maybe somebody will tell small event, but there are no small events. So I'm sure that the both agency, they help us with providing the best information, because the information, it's a miracle, it's something precious. So when we have the right information, we can take the right decisions. First of all, about the cooperation between our two countries, I can point that they are on the highest level, on bilateral level. So everybody can see our Prime Minister was January in Athens. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Mr. Garapetridis, was in February. In Sofia, we expect the new service Prime Minister to pay a visit in Thessaloniki next month. So maybe next month we will have the visit of the Minister of Energy for the opening of the new terminal in Alexandroupolis. As well, we expect, okay, I will not pin the date, but we expect this year to open one more border cross point between Ruduzen and Xanthi. I would like to thank to Interact that they are helping a lot of us to finish this project and to be a real project. We hope that at the end of the year we will be a full member of Schengen, and this border cross point that we have built will not work. So it will be more easy. As Minister Garapetridis said, this year at least 3 million Bulgarian tourists were in Greece last year, sorry. The amount of the Greek tourists is almost the same. So the impact of these two things, it's very, very big for the economy of the two countries. For conclusions, I would like to wish very successful meeting today, and I'm sure that we'll have some positivity news from here. Thank you.
Thank you. Now allow me to give the floor to Mrs. Maria Nezeriti, Head of the Managing Authority, Interact 2021-2027. Her presence is an honor for us because at least I see it as a recognition for our effort to make the results and the perspectives of the cross-border cooperation better known in the respective societies. Please, Mrs. Nezeriti.
Thank you. Thank you all for your kind introductory words, Mr. Valtsev, Mr. Markov, and Mr. Pelikaris. I'm very glad for today's event, and I warmly welcome the initiative of the Bulgarian News Agency in organizing this conference on the common future of Europe in the Balkans, Thessaloniki. And of course, we as the Managing Authority of the Greece-Bulgaria program, thank you for the invitation to participate. Greece and Bulgaria, two neighboring countries with a rich past since the end of the 90s, have entered an era of closer cooperation due to the Interreg program Greece-Bulgaria. The main idea behind Interreg is that countries have issues which can be better solved if they work together with their neighbors than if each one remains confined within its borders. So for this reason, in our program, we promote activities that bring our people closer. Our cooperation is evolving in the EU framework, and our Interreg program contributes further to the strengthening of the two countries' liaisons. To this end, cohesion policy is fundamental, since challenges are reshaping constantly, especially regarding climate change, development disparities, and demographic issues. Cohesion policy signifies... Oh, sorry. Okay. It's working. It's working. Cohesion policy signifies a more robust and resilient union, offering fresh opportunities, increased prosperity, and an improved quality of life. The progress of Greece-Bulgaria territory over the past 2 decades exemplifies this reality. Nevertheless, there is always room for improvement. It is imperative that we evaluate our progress and persist in tackling ongoing challenges. To this end, cohesion policy for the programming period 21-27 allocated 14 billion euros approximately in Interreg programs in the European Union and other countries for a smarter Europe, a greener Europe, more connected Europe, more social, and a Europe closer to citizens, and especially for Interreg, cooperation, governance, and safer and more secure Europe. Now, concerning our 14-20 programming period program, EU and participating countries for Greece-Bulgaria program allocated approximately 158 million euros. With a total number of 130 projects, the achievement of outputs and results is considerable and largely on track. The overall approach of the program for project-level cooperation is more than adequate and conducive to reaching the stated program objectives. Also, representatives from major beneficiaries of the program are here with us today to share their cooperation stories. In the new programming period, 21-27, the budget allocated for our Greece-Bulgaria program is approximately 84 million euros, with a co-financing rate of 80%, covering 11 eligible areas of both countries. The program has opted to contribute to the cohesion policy objectives through three different priorities, which formed its architecture for a more resilient and greener, accessible and inclusive Greece-Bulgaria cross-border territory. On March 27th, the first call for proposals for common projects closed, and 163 concept notes were submitted under priority 1 and 3. The total eligible budget of the submitted concept notes exceeded 8 times the budget of the call, which is 32 million euros. The project proposals follow a two-step selection procedure. This is a novelty, which capitalized the experience gained from the last call of the previous programming period. The selection procedures prioritized the selection of those projects that are the most relevant to the objectives pursued and which have the greatest likelihood of delivering tangible results, as well as ensuring that available funding is spent in line with the rules in time whilst presenting maturity of the foreseen actions. More info and data on both programming periods will be presented by my colleague, Ms. Loliou. We are optimistic that in this programming period we'll accomplish our goals and targets. We expect the soon-to-be approved projects to achieve the outputs and the added value needed for our cooperation area. And as we say in our Interreg word, we cooperate and we all win. Thank you.
Now it's time to see the results of several successful projects that has been implemented or are being implemented under the program Interreg Greece-Bulgaria. But before that, let's see an infographic that I think shows that the reasons behind the program are still valid and as important as ever.
Interreg 6A, Greece, Bulgaria, 2021 to 2027.
I suggest to start with the presentation of the Managing Authority Interact 2021-2027 because it will give us the framework of all the projects that will be presented afterwards. Please, Mrs. Lolio.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for the very, very interesting video presentation of our new program. My name is Aphrodite Lioliou. Good morning, everyone. My presentation is about the results and the best practices of the previous programming period while presenting in brief the new programming period of our Greece-Bulgaria program. It is truly very difficult to fit and to limit the targets, the goals, and the achievements of such an interesting program within 10 minutes. Nevertheless, I will try to do my best. And I will start with a few words by Joachim Beck, who said that a bird flying over an upper Rhine sees no borders, and this is the challenge. How to make it happen on the ground? I think this is the key message of our cooperation program. So as mentioned before, the eligible area of the 5th programming period is as seen in your screen for 9 different regional units. During the 5th programming period also, the program was based in 11 different investment programs, having as key elements the thematic concentration, the simplification, and the result orientation of our projects. At the same time, 4 were the different priority axes in which the program was unfolded, and these were a competitive entrepreneurship promoting area, a sustainable and climate adaptable cross-border area, a better interconnected one, and a socially inclusive one. In my next few slides, I will try to present some emblematic projects, some strategic ones, and these within the priority axis 2 are the flood protection and flood guard. As Mr. Valtsev said earlier, the waters are one of the key factors in our common region. So the flood protection program project had a budget over 11.5 million euros, flood guard 4.4 million euros. In brief, the flood protection project had to do with the increase. The main objective is the increase of the level, to increase the level of protection against floods. Flood guard project had to do about strengthening the capacity of authorities to ensure effective, integrated, and joint coordination, responsiveness to flood risks. Moving on in priority axis 2, we have an emblematic project, the crossbow one, which our colleagues later on will present in detail. This project has total budget of 44.2 million euros, and it is an almost completed project. In the slide, you may see the sub-projects that are comprising the cross-border project, while in the priority axis 4, we have some other cultural projects. One in your screen is the cultural depot, which has to do with the creation of 2 cultural poles, 2 museums, one in Greece and one in Bulgaria. A health project, the Healthcare Center, which invested in health infrastructure by improving the provision of health and emergency services. Intersect 2 by the Smile of Child, which improved the quality of life of children through the development of means for the protection of children in danger and improvement of the level of health and social care services for children. And for more projects, you can search in our website concerning all project results, which are all together in the link in which you can see in your screen. Moving on in the 21-27 period, as our head of unit, Mrs. Nerzeriti, already mentioned, 5 different objectives are included in the framework of the sixth programming period in general, and the Greece Bulgaria 1 has adopted the more resilient and green Greece Bulgaria territory, the more accessible Greece Bulgaria territory, and last but not least, a more inclusive Greece Bulgaria territory. In the screen, you may see the division of the budget between these 3 priorities. In this regard, in priority 1, we are going to capitalize the results of the before mentioned strategic projects, the flood protection and the flood guard project. In priority axis 2, in the accessibility objective, improving mobility and travel security and enhancing rail mobility is included in the programming document, while small project funds, another tool, is based on promoting the transition to a circular and resource efficient economy, as well as strengthening the role of culture and sustainable tourism in economic growth, social inclusion, and social innovation. Other indicative actions of the program are improving biodiversity policy frameworks, developing the green infrastructure, installation of monitoring systems for air pollution, improving blended, smart, and safe mobility in the cross-border area, direct support to micro and family businesses and SMEs, joint training programs within the framework of lifelong learning, development and piloting tools for focusing on upskilling and reskilling of targeted groups, upgrading the integration of services provided, activities for the implementation of climate change adaptation business plans, and more, and many, many more. Concerning the first common project proposals call, Mrs. Nerzeriti already mentioned that we have 163 concept notes that have been already submitted. In the screen, you may see that priority 1, the greener and more resilient area, has attracted 43.6 proposals in total, while the priority 3, the more inclusive cross-border territory, has attracted 56.4% of the proposals. At the same time, although the total eligible budget submitted was 263 million euros, in your screen you may see again the percentages of each priority which was included in our call. 8 times above the proposed projects compared to the call of the budget of the call, while the next steps concerning this call, we estimate that by June we are going to finish the evaluation of stage A, while in autumn we are going to be ready with the evaluation of the stage B. All in all, we act jointly and we all win through the cooperation program between Greece and Bulgaria. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mrs. Lolu. As we all say, the program is ready to support the region during the new 6th programming period, as it did during the previous. When we talk about connectivity, the first thing we think about is roads. The first presentation that we will hear is exactly about roads. Now I suggest to see a brief video that shows the experience of several citizens of the border region where a new road and a new border crossing is about to be opened. The border mountains in the region of Xanthi, northern Greece, are rich in natural beauty, cultural heritage and potential for tourism. But the area, like the border region in Bulgaria, has been isolated for decades. Nowadays, although the restrictions have been long lifted, the travel is difficult because of the poor condition of the road infrastructure. In 2010, a new border crossing was opened between the Bulgarian town of Zlotograd and the Greek village of Thermes. The tourism in Thermes benefited greatly not only because of the border crossing, but also because of the hot springs that attract numerous tourists from Greece and Bulgaria. A project under the program Interreg 5 has contributed for the development of tourism in Thermes.
Идваме годината поне най-малко 10 пъти.
И какво ви харесва тук?
Вижте, водата е лековита. Има басейни, 2 басейна, вани има 4-5. В момента са в ремонт, но ходим долу на Скарлата. Там има, също са го направили. Подобрение има. Като шедрованчета са направили хората. Идват доста хора.
Много българи или туристи от България ли идват?
Идват. От Ямбол миналата година идваха, от Северна България някои бяха дошли. Те по принцип идват на гости тук, на почивка в Златоград. И тук нали е близо и отскачват до тук. От София имам приятели, които също съм ги докарвал тук.
The local businesses have also benefited from the movement of Bulgarian tourists.
Και βλέπω ότι έρχονται εδώ αρκετοί Βουλγαροί. Τι ποσοστό περίπου από των πελατών σας είναι από τη Βουλγαρία?
Κοιτάξτε, τώρα από την αρχή όσο να είναι πιο λίγοι, αλλά όσο περνάει ο καιρός έχουμε ένα καλό ποσοστό που έρχονται από τη Βουλγαρία. Τώρα να σας πω πόσο νούμερα ακριβώς δεν μπορώ να ξέρω, αλλά βλέπω όσο περνάει ο καιρός έρχονται και περισσότεροι.
Τι τους αρέσει εδώ?
Τους αρέσουν τα κρέατα, τους αρέσουν τα φαγητά που φτιάχνουμε εδώ τα παραδοσιακά, τα δικά μας και γενικά τους αρέσει το κλίμα, ο χώρος, η περιοχή αυτή, όλα αυτά εδώ τους αρέσουν.
Πηγαίνουν άνθρωποι και από την περιοχή, ντόπιοι άνθρωποι στη Βουλγαρία.
Από εδώ πηγαίνουν πάρα πολλοί στη Βουλγαρία, βέβαια.
Και τώρα που αναμένεται κάποια στιγμή να ανοίξει και ο νέος δρόμος από το Δημάριο, έχετε τι να προσφέρετε για να προσελκύσετε και περισσότερο κόσμο από τη Βουλγαρία?
Πιστεύω ότι θα βοηθήσει πάρα πολύ αυτό το πράγμα. Μακάρι να ανοίξει όσο το δυνατόν γρηγορότερο, θα έρθουν και πιο πολλοί κόσμος. Και εμείς θα πηγαίνουμε πιο εύκολα σε εκείνες τις περιοχές εκεί.
But the inhabitants of the village of Dimario, on the border with Bulgaria, where the new road Xanthi-Rudozem is being built under the program Interreg, are still skeptical about the real benefits that it will bring to their community.
Πιο πολύ στη ξενιτιά, εργατιά, Γερμανία, όπου γης και πατρίδα.
Δεν υπάρχει δουλειά εδώ?
Δεν υπάρχει δουλειά, οργανωτική υπήρχε, λίγο κτηνοτροφία υπήρχε, τώρα δεν υπάρχει, άγωνα τα μέρη, δεν βοηθάνε πολύ.
Τουρισμός υπάρχει?
Όχι όμως, όπου υπάρχει θάλασσα υπάρχει τουρισμός.
Δηλαδή ορεινός τουρισμός.
Δεν υπάρχει ούτε τουρισμός.
Περιμένετε να αναπτυχθεί η περιοχή όταν ανοίξουν τα σύνορα ο δρόμος?
Υποτίθεται δεν τα λένε σε εμάς, δεν τα ξέρουμε εμείς.
Σας λένε πώς θα ανοίξει ο δρόμος?
Ο δρόμος μας λένε, σε μήνες, εποχές μας λένε, χρονολογία δεν μας λένε. Εκεί τι πατάνε όλοι δηλαδή. Από το φθινόπωρο θα ανοίξει, αλλά ποια χρονολογία αυτό δεν μας κρατάνε, έκπληξη θα μας κάνουν.
Έχουμε τη γιορτή μας στο Μπαϊράμι. Ο κόσμος είναι λίγος γιατί όλος ο κόσμος έχει φύγει έξω για δουλειά. Εδώ οι παλιοί μας άνθρωποι, οι γέροι μας παράγανε καπνούς. Με αυτά βγάζανε το ψωμί τους. Η κάθε οικογένεια μπορούσε και παρήγαγε περίπου 150 με 200 κιλά καπνά. Νομίζω ότι δεν υπάρχει κάτι το οποίο να μπορούμε να δουλέψουμε εδώ πέρα για να μπορέσουμε να μείνουμε στο χωριό. Γι' αυτό οι περισσότεροι μας εδώ είμαστε μισαφιρέοι, δηλαδή ερχόμαστε μια φορά το μήνα και γι' αυτό το πράγμα είμαστε πολύ λυπημένοι γιατί δεν μπορούμε να ζήσουμε στο χωριό μας. Δυστυχώς ή ευτυχώς είμαστε αναγκασμένοι να ζούμε μακριά από το χωριό μας, από τα μέρη μας.
Να ρωτήσω, δεν αναμένετε ότι όταν ανοίξει ο δρόμος στη Βουλγαρία θα αναζωογονηθούν τα πράγματα?
Δεν νομίζω να μπορεί να γίνει κάτι, γιατί και ο άλλος ο δρόμος πιο κάτω που άνοιξε για τη Βουλγαρία και εκεί δεν είδαμε κάποια ανάπτυξη σχετική από θέρμες. Γι' αυτό δεν έχουμε και πολύ μεγάλες ελπίδες ούτε από εδώ ότι θα μπορεί να γίνει κάτι, δυστυχώς. Αν γίνει κάτι θα είναι ευχής έργο. Τώρα, όταν θα ανοίξει ο δρόμος θα το δούμε ζωντανά, αν θα γίνει ή δεν θα γίνει. Μακάρι να γίνει κάτι, να μπορεί να αναπτυχθεί η περιοχή και να υπάρχει κάτι καλύτερο για μας, για όλο τον κόσμο.
In the meantime, the construction of the road continues. The time will show if the hopes or the doubts of the locals will come true in this place of continuous choice between the past and the future. As we can see, the citizens that already have access to the new road connection have no doubts in the benefits they bring them. But those who are still isolated from the road communications does not seem to see the light yet. That's the moment I'd like to invite Mrs. Petrola Mendizi from Egnatia Odos to present their project, a part of which is the new border crossing Xanthi-Ruduzem. I've been in the region last week and I can testify personally that this is a complex project in an area with extremely difficult terrain. Please, Mrs. Mendizi.
Hello, good morning everyone. Okay. Good morning, everyone. My name is Petrola Mendizi, and I work in Egnatia Odos. I will present you our project, which is aiming at improving cross-border accessibility. It's in priority 3, and it's a common project between Greece and Bulgaria. We are 3 partners in this project. Egnatia Odos, which is implementing the construction of the new road section, the Mario Greek-Bulgarian borders, with a total budget of 23.5 million euros. The Road Infrastructure Agency from Bulgaria, which has 2 projects in this program, the upgrading of the road 226 and the upgrading of the road 259, with a total budget of 15 million euros. And the Regional Administration of Smolian, which has the construction of the new border crossing checkpoint with a budget of 5.2 million euros. The total budget is 45 million euros. The main objectives of this project is, first of all, to complete... okay. The main objectives of the project, Crossbow, is first of all to complete the vertical axis Xanthi-Ruduzem-Smolian-Plovdiv, which is a part of 10T network. It establishes a new border crossing checkpoint between Xanthi and Ruduzem. It improves the connectivity and accessibility in the cross-border area. It enables the connection of Egnatia motorway with the Bulgarian road network. It enhances intermodal transport through the interconnection of the ports Kavala, Alexandroupoli, Burgas, and the airports Plovdiv, Kavala, Alexandroupoli. And it creates a new dynamic in the field of tourism and commerce in the regions in both countries, improving the quality of life in the local population. Here in the circle you can see the total axis, which starts from Egnatia Odos in Greece and ends in Plovdiv, Bulgaria. The scope of this axis is determined by the protocol of the enlarged joint Greek-Bulgarian in 1998. And as I mentioned, it's a part of the 10T road network. Now, the construction, our project of Egnatia Odos, is the construction of the new road section, the Mario Greece-Bulgarian borders. This project is located in the vertical axis Xanthi-Echinos and Greece-Bulgarian borders. It links the Egnatia motorway with the Greek-Bulgarian borders at the position of the new border station, the Mario Rudozem. The length of the road is 88 kilometers in a very mountainous area. It consists of 3 tunnels and 8 bridges, and the funding of these 8 kilometers is secured from 2 funding sources: OP, Transport, Infrastructure, Environment and Sustainable Development, and Interreg Greece-Bulgaria. Some things about the contract. The tender date was on 2007, November. The tender budget was 40 million euros without VAT. Contractor is Actor AT. The contract was signed in 18 of May 2018, and the estimated completion date is the end of May this year. Now I will show you some photos of the project. Here is the pier construction in the bridge G7. Here you can see bridge G7 and tunnel S1. The same here. Bridge G7, tunnel. The drilling of tunnel front S1. Here is the bridge G10.2. And here are the borders. Okay. I have to mention here that from these 8 kilometers, the 6 are fully completed, and the last 2 kilometers will be finished at the end of May. Now, the future projects for our company is the completion of this axis. We started with Melivia bypass, Melivia Di Mario, which is 10 kilometers, and now it's under tender. It is funded by the operational program Transport 2021-2027. And we have 3 more projects, Echinos, Melivia, Smynthi, Echinos, and Xanthi, Smynthi, that the designs have been completed, and we are now in the process of trying to find funding for the construction. This was for me. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you, Mrs. Mendizi. Personally, I expect to visit soon the beautiful region of Xanthi again, this time with much less difficulty. But connectivity means not only roads, but links between the people on all levels. One such level is the science and the higher education. Let's hear now Professor Grigorios Zarotiadis from the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki about its cooperation with the partners from Bulgaria. Please, Professor.
We can't find the mouse. Sometimes the most simplest things don't function, no? Right. It's somewhere at the edge and can be. Oh, there. Somewhere there. Oh, okay, we found it. Okay, I have to close that now. Right. Here?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Nice to meet you also. All right. Good. Good day, good morning. We are in the somehow in the time where we don't know exactly how to greet each other. Thank you for inviting me. I represent here Aristotle University of Thessaloniki. I used to be the Dean of the Faculty of Economic and Social Sciences, and nowadays I am a member of the Board of Governance of the institution. And we thought with my colleagues, and especially the new rectorship, to present something which is beyond the, how to say, the traditional ways of how universities contribute to cross-border cooperation, which is actually the participation in different EU-funded projects, programs like Interreg and so on. This is one aspect where, as you can easily understand, Aristotle University of Thessaloniki has plenty of different activities, and it wouldn't be very innovative just to mention them. What, on the contrary, we thought it is very important for you to know and to present is, how to say, a central initiative that we took. It's already almost 10 years ago, to create a European grouping of territorial cooperation in the area of southeastern Europe, what we can also describe as Balkans. And this is because we understood several things. First of all, that there is a very rich bundle of different projects that have been realized in the frame of different community programs in order to support cross-border, cross-regional cooperation. Nevertheless, what is lacking is a line that would connect them towards a longer lasting and longer viewed approach, and also the continuity of the different programs. Most of the times, what really happens in the CBC or CRC, cross-border or cross-regional cooperations, is that we adjust our planning according to the necessities and the requirements of the different calls for proposals. So therefore, this having on our, in our view, in our mind, and at the same time having in our mind that we have a concrete instrument from Brussels, which is widely used in the area of Europe in general, especially in those areas where there used to be links over the modern national states, as you see in the map, but there is actually almost no use of this instrument in the Balkans, while the Balkans have a strong history of links, cross-cultural and cross-national links beyond the borders of modern national states. Still, the use of this instrument was not so much in place. Therefore, we started with the initiative of creating a European grouping of territorial cooperation, which is the name of this is Helicas, and it is Helicas because the idea behind that is to put on the same table, at the same table, the four aspects of quadruple helix approach. So administration, municipalities and regional authorities, economy, chambers of commerce from the different states, universities as representing academia, and also civil society institutions. As you can see here, this is the structure, the existing structure of Helicas in our days. We are in an ongoing regional expansion. We have, as you have, at the moment, members are from Bulgaria, North Macedonia, and Greece. Very mature is the contribution from members from Albania and Cyprus. In Serbia, we're still in negotiations, but also we are trying to expand the regional outreach of the EGTC in Romania and in other ex-Yugoslavian democracies and cities and states. The issues that we address, as I mentioned before, is that we try to develop a mechanism that brings together members incorporating the philosophy of the quadruple helix, to identify clear priorities in specific activity fields, to work towards the spatial integration and expansion. In general, what really in our intention is to create an institutionalized territorial cooperation framework, because as I said, this in our understanding, is the way of overcoming the two major weaknesses that I mentioned before with respect to the realization of cross-border and cross-regional cooperation. Some indicative conferences and seminars that have found place in the previous years. I don't want to go over them. I have only 10 minutes time for that, but the material is in your disposal. As you see, most of the seminars or conferences are directed towards the support of public servants in municipalities of the participating countries or in administrative forces in order to understand the modern problems of the region, the contemporary problems of the region, and also in order to be able to work towards a more concrete framework, a more stable framework of collaboration among them. For instance, I would like to mention the Via Carpathia project, which is far wider reaching, not only in the Balkans. It is a project for the completion, for the completion of a modern road that connects the harbor of Klaipeda in the Baltics down to our harbors in the Black Sea and in the Aegean. And also another activity which is very important in the frame of the conferences and the seminars that we realized is, for instance, the 3Cs initiative and the new platform of collaboration within that framework. Actually, the conference, the specific conference, was held last year in Sofia and was held by the University of National and World Economy. I have the feeling that this is the major message that we should bring in the frame of this meeting. We need to develop frameworks of longer lasting and strategic way of collaboration. Just putting at the line several projects which have been realized, and each one of them can be in a different direction of the others, and with no prospects of continuity, does not help us a lot. It is something that brought us closer, but I think that we need to work in a more strategic way. HELICAS, the European grouping of territorial cooperation, which is created since started the creation in 2015, is a framework that can contribute in this direction. And Mr. Anastasiadis is the CEO of HELICAS. He just arrived, and he will be pleased to answer relevant questions later on. Thank you very much. I think I'm within the 10 minutes, and I will.
Thank you, Professor Zarotiadis. Too often we perceive the development only as economic growth, but everybody should benefit from the development. And exactly this is the aim of the project that will be presented now by Mr. Paschalis Psaltopoulos from the management unit of Nestos Vistonida και Rhodope National Parks. Please, Mr. Psaltopoulos.
Hello everybody, thank you for the invitation. So this is me. Okay. Okay. I'm Paschalis Psaltopoulos. I represent the Natural Environment and Climate Change Agency, which is the organization that is responsible for the protection of the conservation of the protected areas in Greece, meaning the Natura 2000 sites, as well as nationally established protected areas such as national parks. I'm here to present the results of the Pathways of Accessible Heritage Tourism which is short for access, which has the short name of Access to Heritage, and it was implemented within the framework of the Interreg program. I have to say that the people who live in the cross-border area that are aware that there is a shared heritage regarding the natural environment as well as the cultural characteristics of the area. And of course, I, as an employee of the natural environment and NECA, in sort of the Natural Environment of and Climate Change Agency, I can see it every day that species do not see human-made borders, and of course this leads to the conception of this program. So this project was conceived because it was realized that there is a deficit in the awareness for the accessibility of the natural and cultural points of interest, as well as a deficit in the know-how for how this can be improved. As a result, it is logical that there is a deficit in the infrastructure for the accessibility of these points of interest. So NECA is the lead partner of this project and has brought together partners from Greece and Bulgaria from the cross-border area to realize this project. So we can see the partners here. So I will show you a map of the protected areas here in Greece, and I have to say that this project was an opportunity for the results of this program to be implemented in other protected areas as well in Greece. So the aims of this project was to form a joint promotion and support of the development of accessible tourism, resting on the principle of all-inclusive design. That gives emphasis to the quality of the accessibility that includes people with disabilities, the elderly, and those with decreased mobility in general. The project is structured in 4 axes. So the first one was to improve the know-how for the people that were involved in this project, and it was an opportunity for these people to exchange, to learn some good practices from other countries. Colleagues of my colleagues were able to travel to other areas in Europe that have realized projects that promote the accessibility of the points of interest. So there is another axis that involves around the infrastructure works and equipment. So in our facilities in Mesochori Paranesti, we were able to transform our outdoor area into an accessible path for people with disabilities. You can see the pictures here, of course. So other partners were able to improve the accessibilities in Astinov and Papunov House, St. Ekaterina Church, the Painted Church, a tourist information point, and the Yavorov Chalet. Also in Karjali, it was the tourist information point was able to obtain accessible facilities. Also in Banya, the Roman Turkish baths were redesigned and improved their facilities. And of course, this cannot be In this program, we realized that there has to be an amelioration in the electronic means by which people are able to inform themselves about the protected areas. So, of course, there is another axis that included the raising of awareness for accessible tourism in a local and cross-border level. So there were a number of activities that were implemented. And of course, I have to say that it was unfortunate that COVID was a big hindrance to the realization of any activities that included the physical, I don't know. Sorry, it is my first time presenting in English. So it was the physical presence of people was hindered because of COVID. And despite that, we realized a youth exchange program, field visits, local awareness campaign, and some of them included web design methods, or we had to include any safety means that we were able to do. So the results of the Access to Heritage project contributed towards the strengthening of competitiveness of tourism sector in the cross-border area and added value to the region's accessibility as tourist destination. It improved the maintenance of the implemented accessibility works as constant reminder that accessible tourism for people with disabilities, the elderly, and those with decreased mobility is better tourism for all. And the transferability of knowledge and awareness through the project activities between partners and stakeholders. Thank you for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mr. Psaltopoulos. I think that your presentation shows that the inclusiveness not only shows how mature a society can be, but that it can also bring benefits for all the society by including all its members. Now let's continue with another social project that has been selected by the project BioRegio as most successful good practice. This project uses a simple fact that every day a lot of food cannot be sold at the markets, but it is still suitable for consumption. But I think it's better to let Mr. Theodoros Papadopoulos, President of the Central Market of Thessaloniki, to tell us more about the idea behind the project, the results, and the reason for which it holds such a distinction.
Okay. Good morning to everyone. At first I want to thank the BTA for you gave me the opportunity to give an idea of our project, which was created from, sorry for my poor English, it was created from a program, from indirect program for Greece Bulgaria program. Well, our company, the Central Market of Thessaloniki, is a public interest company that owns the infrastructure of the Central Market of Thessaloniki. It's a wholesale market. We have over 200 traders for fresh food, fresh fruits and vegetables, and about 24 meat traders in over 260 stores. Every day we are dealing about 600 to 800 tons of fresh fruits and vegetables, and over 600 tons a week of meat products. And over 5,000 people every day are in our market, workers or traders or suppliers. So we had to deal with, when we started as in the market, we have to deal with a great amount of food that was left over. Yes, it would go to garbage. And we said, but this is good food. We cannot waste it. So we started this project, the Social Plate project, which takes the sorry, I forgot to go down. The non-commercial products from our traders. Our traders must have products that they will stay in the market for a period, sorry. If they are very shorted in life, in the long life of these products, they don't, they just put them away. They don't have the cost of taking out the bed, and it's too much for them, so they waste them. And we ask for them to give us these products. So under the indirect VA Greece Bulgaria program, we have made a social enterprise in combating poverty and social exclusion program that called Social Plate. After that, the goals of this, it's provide food to the vulnerable groups, provide work to long-term unemployed, reduce food waste and loss, reduce organic waste and packaging, raise people's awareness about food waste and encourage them to be actively involved, create a network with regional social agencies, networking and cooperating between the social agencies with the same goals, and cooperation with producers and traders all over the biggest region of Central Macedonia. As part of this program, we create an internet platform. We call them Food Angels. And in this platform, it's, we can register beneficiaries or sponsors. And in every day, we announce the quantities and the, what kind of food is available every day from our market. We have make some, we have purchase truck, other equipments, storage cold room, it's a fridge, and we have a sorting area where we are making the sorting from good, edible or not edible food. So after that, I have grossly told you how it works. After we take the foods, under the supervisor of the head of quality control, the products are separated into suitable and for consumption and not, repackaging with the help of volunteers and our staff, and we are recording all the procedure from the time we are receiving the non-marketable products from the traders, what type, what quantity, number of packages, batch codes, so we have traceability, and we are recording the offered quantities to the people they needed. The social agencies that are supporting social play are all kinds of agencies in Thessaloniki and Central Macedonia, municipality social grocery stores, churches, common meals, NGOs, institutions, associations and volunteers that have a real act in the field, and detox centers also. They are some of our so some numbers from our goals. We started in 218 the project, and in 6 years, from March 18 to April to 2024, we have reached some big numbers. We have totally received over 1,500 tons of fresh fruits and vegetables. And we have we have offered to social agencies over 1,145 tons. That is a very big percentage of regaining. It's over 74%. That the global standards, they are not reaching 30%. That's because in our establishments, we are dealing with this certain problem they have, the traders. They cannot keep good food for commercial purposes, so we are taking this food and give it for the people. We have a very good we have, as they told me, BioRegio was a a program of European Union in where our effort was have taken the first place as a good practice. We have in the indirect our annual event of 22, we have been elected as one of the 3 best programs in European Union indirect in social innovation. And as well, last year, we have been elected from the World Union of Wholesale Market as one of the best efforts in Europe for food donation initiatives. Well, the future, we are still working. We cooperate with all traders of the central market of Thessaloniki. We are trying to increase our the amount of the food we are negotiating with. We're recycling of organic waste. We are recycling packages, and we are having the corporate social responsibility support from our business as a very high goal. Problems, needs in infrastructure and human resources, of course, but legal framework for voluntary work too. There is a problem that we cannot there is no legislation in Greece that we can stand by this. And we hope that we will work for this people. So thank you for your attention, and excuse me for my bad English.
Thank you very much, Mr. Papadopoulos. And now it is time to have a look at another project that is focused on the vulnerable groups of the society, this time the children at risk. This project comes last in our schedule, but I think its focus is maybe the most important, the children, the future of the region. And allow me to give the floor to Mr. Kostas Yiannopoulos, President of the board of the directors of The Smile of the Child, maybe the best known non-profit organization in the field of protection of children in Greece. Mr. Yiannopoulos will participate online from Athens, and Mrs. Makri will help us with the change of the slides. Please.
I hope that you hear me. Good afternoon, everybody. I'm very glad to be within a very important program, a very important initiative. I am in because I'm right now inside the Mobile Command Center at the headquarters of the Army, of the Navy, because we do an exercise in case of earthquake, in case of other disasters. And so I will miss this meeting though. So when we have, if we have the PowerPoint, to say a few words, even if we don't, Mrs. Makri will continue it. But I'd like to say that because of our efforts within the Indirect program and the Interstate, we managed to make a lot of different successes for the vulnerable children and families. And thanks to this cross-border collaboration, we have now resources that we wouldn't even dreamed of. And I'd like to thank the ones that they are genuinely participating in this. And to wish you success in your meeting. And I'm sure that Mrs. Makri will continue, because I am in a difficult situation. And although I am in the Mobile Command Center, and although the technology is here, it's a little bit difficult. So I wish you all the best. We are with our heart and our mind together to continue and join our forces, like my son who found this organization, Smile of the Child, that you saw earlier probably, or you see next, found this organization. He was saying in his last page of his diary, before he went, you know, up there, in the wherever, you know, the souls are going, he was saying that if we unite, we can succeed. This is what we're doing right now, and I'd like to express my gratitude for everyone who participates into this endeavor. So, Mrs. Makri, I think you do it better, and because, you know, I am in a difficult situation. So I wish you the best. I am with you, and I wish I was also been able to be here, but we have some very crucial situations that we have to participate within this effort. When there is an earthquake, when there's a disaster, our infrastructure, like we have, some of them are because of Internet, because of Interstate. These vehicles and these ambulances is because of this, the outcome of this. So we're using it heavily. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Yiannopoulos. Thank you. Hello, I'm Ioanna Makri. Now you can see about Andreas Yiannopoulos, our founder. I'm going to be short about our cooperations, international cooperations and national cooperations. About the project, Intersec 1 from InterSIC 1 to implementation of InterSIC 2. It's worth mentioning that InterSIC 1, the first one project, won the first place award for the best proposal to perform during the Project Slam of Interreg 25 years event that took place in Luxembourg. Both projects apply to the high need for cross-border cooperation and issues related to children at risk. So, about InterSIC 2, our partners and project's beneficiaries are the Smile of the Child as a lead beneficiary, Kappa Karatheodori SA Organization for Local Development of Komotini, Nadja Center Foundation, and Regional Education Inspectorate of Blagoevgrad. Location of activities. The locations are region of Central Macedonia, region of Eastern Macedonia and Thrace, regional of Blagoevgrad. The duration of the project was 75 months. Started 2017 and completed at 4th of December of 2023. The total project budget is 1,071,793. The overall objective of InterSIC is the development of means for protection of children in danger and improvement of the level of high and social care services for children. The project has 4 axes. The first one is protection of children in danger, promotion of European tools. Number 2, improvement of health services for children. And 3, improvement of social care services for children. Also, number 4 axis, supportive actions related to the treatment of pandemic crisis of COVID-19. Preventing medicine actions took place at cross-border regions of Greece and Bulgaria, addressed to children in need. Medical examinations were held to 6,828 children in Greece and Bulgaria. Children had medical examinations as pediatrics, ophthalmology, dentistry, ORL, orthopedic, through mobile unit, medical units of the Smile of the Child. Now you can see here our multi-medical unit with 4 doctors' office at Hippocrates at Greece and Bulgaria. And also now you can see some photos from Komotini and also from Bulgaria. Public demonstrative events and training seminars addressed to 1,065 public officials, such as representatives of police authorities, of civil protection, of social and welfare services, to school teachers and NGO staff, on the operation of the European hotline for missing children 116,000, and the management of cases of disappearance of minors and adults, of transfer best practices and know-how related to Amber Alert and Missing Alert also, automated system ACAS. So now you can see some of our seminars at Greece, at Sidirokastro, Seres, Orestiada, Didymotiko, Thessaloniki, and also the same seminars at Bulgaria took place. Mixed roundtables addressed it to 190 members of search and rescue teams for exchange of practices, knowledge, and configuration of common standards in cases of missing minors in Greece and Bulgaria. Also, training seminars addressed to 727 persons at Greece and Bulgaria, such as school teachers and staff working with children in first aid, and the BLSAED, officially certified by the ERC. Some photos you can see to our slides. Voluntary blood donation action took place during COVID-19 pandemic period in close cooperation with public authorities such as municipalities and national hospitals in cross-border areas in Greece and Bulgaria. Also, purchase and mobile units, as Mr. Yiannopoulos said before, and emergency vehicles for transfer of infants and children, for search and rescue operations, along with purchase of necessary medical equipment with the purpose of strengthening national health system,
in cross-border level, especially in remote areas. Some of these: the purchase of one mobile medical intensive care unit is a unique unit. You can see, here is our unit. And the upgrade of 2 existing medical mobile units we had before, ambulances, the purchase of medical equipment, 2 incubators. Now you can see what is incubator, sorry, for this one. The purchase of 7 emergency vehicles for search and rescue operations in cross-border regions of Greece and Bulgaria. Now you can see here some photos. Also, provision of psychological and social support to children and families affected by the COVID-19 crisis in Greece. The provision of psychological and social support was provided via the operationalization of the European helpline 116-111, operated by the Smile of the Child, with expert psychologists available for every child and adult 24/7 for the provision of support on issues of their concern. In Bulgaria, the provision of psychological support was provided via, online via the use of the existing digital platform managed by specialist psychologists, aiming at provision of support, advice, and referrals to other relevant institutions. Online lecturing sessions addressed to 545 school psychologists, pedagogical advisors, and teachers, aiming at educating them for gaining specific knowledge, competencies, and skills on how to act around COVID-19 and viral infection, first on thematic units such as school, bullying, internet safety, rights of the child, etc., to support them. Conduction of a large-scale study on the effects of distant learning during the COVID-19 pandemic, with proposals for more effective online learning in future similar conditions. A campaign of information awareness education in relevant with COVID-19. And about the project results, immediate help in cases of missing children through the operation of 116-000, the Amber Alert, and the CAS. Addressed crucial social problems such as trafficking, which is linked directly to the disappearance of children, the support of families in crisis, and the ensuring of good health for children as decisive factors for keeping the local population in the residence. Creation a close cooperation framework between law enforcement bodies of the 2 countries, enrichment of experience of the cooperation local bodies and NGOs, accurate prevention of diseases, development in the child population of the area of implementation. So, the raising awareness into educational units and local government bodies on medical and hygiene matters, improvement of the skills of the staff working with children, strengthening the access of vulnerable disadvantaged groups in cross-border areas to health and social services, empowering the national health system, responding to an emergency situation, contributing in the prevention of social crisis through provision of psychosocial support. And so, at last, DG Regio European Commission visited us on the 27th of March. The Managing Authority, the Joint Secretariat of the Interreg Greece-Bulgaria Cooperation Program had the pleasure of welcoming Mrs. Maria Schioliou, the program's desk officer from the European Commission, and met InterSIC2 project's beneficiaries. During the project visit, they had the chance to see some of the project results and discuss the outcomes achieved and impact of the implemented activities on the cross-border area and the daily life of citizens. Thank you all for your attention.
Thank you very much, Mrs. Macri. And this one was the last presentations that we planned here in Thessaloniki. If someone from our guests or speakers have to add something or to ask something, If there are no questions or remarks, I suggest you to proceed with our second part of the conference today, and with our guests, speakers and colleagues in Blagoevgrad, Bulgaria. Thank you.
Thank you, and hello from Blagoevgrad. In order to continue the constructive dialogue and discussion that you have already started in Thessaloniki, in Blagoevgrad's press club today, we have representatives of various institutions, state and local authorities, associations, and representatives of scientific circles. They will help us understand more about the positive examples from the Bulgarian side and how the cohesion policy helps cross-border cooperation between Greece and Bulgaria. Guests in the press club today are the Regional Information Center, journalists, and citizens. At the beginning of the discussion, I give the floor to the senior expert in Blagoevgrad's administration, Mrs. Krasimira Krumova, who will talk about the effect of the cohesion policy in the border area and about successful projects of the regional administration.
Thank you very much, dear ladies and gentlemen. First of all, I would like to present my gratitude to be here with you at this significant event. It's an honor for me to take part in the 5th cross-border conference of the project European in the Balkans, A Common Future, which Bulgarian news agency is implementing with the support of the European Commission. This conference is a great opportunity for all of us to share knowledge, to exchange good practices, and to foster the cooperation between our countries. The open dialogue on the new aspects of the European Union cohesion policy for the period 2021-2027 will provide us a framework for the successful implementation of joint projects and tangible effects towards strengthening the economic, social, and territorial cohesion in our regions. The cooperation program Interreg Greece-Bulgaria is one of the most significant and successful instruments for the achieving of the European Union priorities. The results achieved in the 2014-2020 period are much more than a statistical data. Our common projects made a tangible difference in our communities, supported job creation, business competitiveness, economic growth, sustainable development, and improved citizens' quality of life. Regarding the achieved results in the previous program period, I would like to emphasize the great importance, the effective and positive impact of one of the projects implemented by Regional Administration Blagoevgrad as a partner. The project Cross-Border Planning and Infrastructure Measures for Flood Protection was financed by the Cooperation Program Interreg 5th Aid Greece-Bulgaria 2014-2020. The partners were 7. The lead partner was the region of Central Macedonia. The other partners were the region of Eastern Macedonia and Thrace, decentralized administration of Macedonia and Thrace from the Greek side, and the regional administrations of Blagoevgrad, Haskovo, Kardjali, and Smolen from the Bulgarian side. Its implementation started in 2017 and ended in 2023. Its budget reached 13 million euro. The positive impact of the flood protection project was achieved through the implementation of effective measures for the protection against the harmful effects of water and reducing the risk of floods through construction of protective infrastructure in the cross-border region. This project was a real example of a fruitful cooperation and effective partnership. This determines the intentions of Regional Administration Blagoevgrad to fulfill other successful projects under Interreg 6A Greece-Bulgaria 2021-2027. One of them is the next project, Flood Protection 2, which will provide the opportunity to build on the already achieved results of the previous project and achieve even more significant results for a more disaster-resilient cross-border region. Allow me to thank you once again for the warm invitation and wish success to all of us. A successful and useful exchange of experience and ideas. And I'm convinced that our cooperation and common projects have the power to transform lives and communities. Thank you.
Thank you, Mrs. Krumova. Before moving on to the next participants in the discussion, let's see what the opinion of residents of Благоевградско is.
Първото нещо, за което се сещам, са множеството реализирани проекти в нашия град и може би промяната на облика на градът ни, защото много от хората, които за първи път или от много дълго време не са идвали в нашия град, казват, че наистина обликът се е променил основно на входа на Благоевград и множеството санирани сгради и блокове.
Градът изглежда по-обновен, по-свеж. Има нови спортни зали, обновени.
Промените са очевидни, защото за Пейтри, за района много неща се направиха с европейски средства по програми. Сега ние сме общината, ние сме в периферията на общината, но общинския ни център се променя. Явно това е след членството ни в Европейския съюз. За мен лично, понеже аз казах, семейството ми, децата ми са извън България, в Европейския съюз, в Италия, това членство се отрази много добре и по начина на пътуване. Аз знам как се пътуваше преди това и как се пътува сега много по-лесно вече.
Да, чувала съм. Дори мога да кажа, че моят професионален път всъщност стартира благодарение на една от тези програми.
Чувала съм, но не съм запозната точно какво е направено.
Чували сме от медиите, от средствата за информация, но не сме навътре в нещата.
Определено, особено за хора, които живеят в град като нашия Благоевград, които са толкова близо до границата с Гърция. Най-малкото всеки уикенд виждаме какво се случва на границата. Основно, може би, в сферата на туризма е най-така видима връзката. Също така и смятам и в сферата на културата.
Мисля, че не сближи. Пътуваме спокойно, пазаруваме, отиваме на почивки. Туризма, мисля, че се разви положително и в България, и в Гърция.
Много по-лесно сега се ходи на Гърция като на пазар. Отива се на плаж, отива се на много, двете страни си съдействат една на друга, а пък когато е празника, сещам се на Свети Иван Рилски, от Гърция се изнасят много хора. А и в Петрич, пазарите дни, идват явно двете страни си комуникират и си съдействат и има общи интереси.
After hearing what residents of the district think, let's see what the picture is among the local authorities. In summary, we will learn this from Mrs. Iliana Tsvetanova, coordinator in the Association of Southwest Municipalities. Mrs. Tsvetanova, to you, we look forward to learning more about successful practices.
Thank you. Thank you. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for the opportunity to be part of the cross-border conference organized by the Bulgarian News Agency today. I am Iliana Tsvetanova, Programs and Project Expert at the Association of Southwestern Municipalities. It's my pleasure to share with you the association experience with the cross-border program Interact Greece Bulgaria today. What about my presentation? Okay. First, I will start with a few words about the Association of Southwestern Municipalities. second, yeah. Okay. So the organization is established on 29th of September in the year of 2000 as a non-profit legal entity working for the public benefit of the 14 municipalities of the Благоевград district. Currently, 25th municipality from the southwestern region are our members, 9 municipalities from Sofia district, 12 from Благоевград district, and 4 from the Кюстендил district. Our purposes are to protect and represent the common interests of the member municipalities at national and regional state structures, to coordinate the activities of its member in resolving local problems and developing local government, to provide a variety of quality services to its member, to promote civil involvement in the local government. A few words about the services which we offer to our municipalities, which include training in the field of the legal framework of local government, finances and budgeting, and other current topics. We provide expert assistance and consultation in project development and management. We are conducting public events for the municipalities' members, such as workshops, forums, conferences. Also, the association team is taking care of securing international partnership for exchanging experience and cooperation networks. The Association of Southwestern Municipality has successfully implemented over 40 transnational and cross-border projects in various of socio-economic life, as a result of which we are coordinating several international networks, such as Network of Social Enterprises to implement innovative marketing strategies. This is socialnet.bg. Cross-border network among the municipal counseling in the cross-border region, which is MCNet. European Network of Women Mayors for Equal Opportunities in Citizens' Life. The network is Power. Cross-border network among municipality experts of project and programs in the cross-border region, the PMNet. Cross-border partnership network for coordination and adequate response to natural and ecological hazards, with a special accent on a focus to forest fires. But today's topic is the cross-border program, and I'm glad to give you a piece of brief information on the last successfully implemented project co-funded by the European Regional Development Fund and by the national funds of the countries participating in the Interact 5A Greece-Bulgaria 2014-2020 cooperation program. The title of the project is Action for the Support and Enhancement of Social Entrepreneurship at the Local Level, with the acronym ACT Social. The project is under the priority axis A, Social Inclusive CB area, and investment priority 9C, providing support for social enterprises. The completed projects focus on detecting and evaluating the social impact of social enterprises, particularly in terms of employment integration in the cross-border area. It developed support structure, including one-stop shop help desk in Greece and in Bulgaria. These structures facilitate activities such as counseling, education, business development services, and networking for social enterprises. The project successfully fostered cooperation and exchange through the establishment of a cross-border network. Additionally, it effectively embedded social impact measurement into the daily operation of social enterprises, resulting in a cultural shift towards a fresh understanding of social entrepreneurship. The project has achieved significant results in establishing a lasting partnership among local authorities in the cross-border area. The main innovative activities, results, and tools of the project, which have a long-term operation and impact, are the increased number of social enterprises, local development and social cohesion, economic activities to the local needs, the project implemented social services of general interest and social innovation. Returning to 2017-2018, when the project was implemented, and making conclusions today, we can say that one of the significant results of this project was the 3 bilingual guidebooks, which were prepared on paper and digitally during the project. Unfortunately, at the moment, I can present only 2 of them in a hard copy because they already have been printed out. So if you want to take a look of the full one, you need to take a look online because they are uploaded to our webpage. So I'll start with the first one, the joint analytic courses for support before the startup of social enterprises in Greece and Bulgaria, which is a bilingual guidebook, which refers to the development of educational materials for courses on procedures and required steps for the establishment of successful and social cooperative enterprises, taking into account relevant educational guides previously produced in Greece, Bulgaria, as well as internationally. So this guidebook is already printed out, only available online. The other guidebook, which is again bilingual, is the analytical courses for scaling up social enterprises in Greece and Bulgaria, describes the standardized procedure for the management of social enterprises in Greece and Bulgaria as derived from the current legal framework and the modern operational environmental of social enterprises in the references countries. The third one, the guidebook which presents the financial tools for social enterprises in Bulgaria, which have been implemented within the framework of the project, and it's the mapping and collecting the existing financial tools for social enterprises in Bulgaria. Well, this is in a short for our Act Social project, and you're more than welcome to take a close look over this and many other projects which we have successfully implemented if you want on our webpage. So representing 12 municipalities in Благоевград district, of course, we have submitted several concept notes with the first call of the new program period, Interreg 6 Greece, Bulgaria, and I hope I will have the opportunity to share with you again in a few years the results of it. Thank you very much for your time and attendance. Have a great day.
Thank you, Ms. Svetanova. There are many examples of successful projects. In the next few minutes, we will see one from Simitli municipality, where, under a cross-border project, a new rafting center was built. More in the next video.
С трансграничен проект община Симитли изгради нов рафтинг център в непосредствена близост до градския парк и река Струма. Проектът е с водещ бенефициент община Симитли и партньори, общини от българска и гръцка страна, както и Агенция за развитие на СЕРЕС.
Основната цел на проекта бе да създаде условия за развитие на рафтинг и екстремни спортове, като на практика това, което виждаме изградено като база в община Симитли, е туристически информационен център. Закупени бяха оборудване за целите на рафтинга, лодки, екипировка, както и велосипеди за колокрос.
Рафтинг инструкторите са на мнение, че новият рафтинг център ще привлече още посетители.
Това е най-популярната община като цяло в България и най-известната с рафтинга. Имаме все пак близо Сандански като спа курорт, Банско като ски курорт и летен курорт. Тези хора, които идват да почиват, идват и на рафтинг, което е добре за община Симитли. Общо взето не може да говорим за конкуренция, за допълване по-скоро, защото при повече желаящи трябва да има капацитет, за да се поемат, за това, че този рафтинг център е плюс.
Новият рафтинг център е оборудван с всичко необходимо за този спорт, а изграждането му удължава трасето по струма с още 7 км.
Той ще допренесе много, най-вече за хора, които ги е страх, не могат да плуват за първи път в такова приключение, и точно този нов рафтинг център ще допренесе, защото от тук трасето се удължава и това удължение е точно благоприятно и е лесно.
Община Симитли има потенциал за развитие на туризъм, като минерални извори, богата природа, културни забележителности и благоприятни климатични условия, а проектите дават възможност за привличане на туристи, коментира заместник-кметът на Симитли. Проектите дават възможност и за надграждане на вече реализирани трансгранични сътрудничества, каквато е идеята на община Симитли.
Рафтинг центърът, който е новоизграден, е заобиколен, както виждате, от спортни игрища, тенис на корта, има детски площадки за игра и свободно време. С новият проект, който искаме да надградим условията, ще бъде изградена стена за катерене, както и съоръжения въжени пак за игра и свободно време. В партньорство ще бъде пак с гръцките общини, с които до момента реализирахме този проект, Сидики и Ираклия. А от българска страна община Кресна ще бъде наш партньор.
Mrs. Katja Stoyanova, head of a cross-border project at the municipality of Petric, is also in a direct online connection in today's discussion. Mrs. Stoyanova, can you share what are the positive results so far?
Hello, nice to meet you. This project, which I will present you, is very important from Petric, but I think it's so important for all region, Greece, Bulgaria, across border, because this gives us a chance to be a cultural partner with Greek municipality, and also give us a chance to invest and develop the tourist and economic sector in Bulgaria and in Greece. I can share you our presentation and told you more about the project, Cultural Depot. Just a second, please. Do you see my presentation?
No, at this point, no.
A little technical problem, sorry. Well, I think you have our presentation, and if it's possible, you can put it in the screen, or no?
Yeah, we have your presentation. We're working on it.
Because maybe I have problem just now, sorry.
No problems. Okay, do you see it as well now? We've shared it.
Okay. Okay, you're ready?
Are we ready? Do we have a
Okay.
Okay, just a second. I'll give you a sign. Okay.
Okay, thank you. Our project is Cultural Depot. This is a project between municipality of Petric and municipality of Ceres with other partners like university. The Cultural Depot have a result in Petric, a new home of History Museum Petric, but our collaboration with Ceres, next slide please. Our collaboration with Ceres municipality is for 19 years old ago. Between two municipalities, there is many common projects in different themes. We have projects in the sport. We have also the projects in nature practice. Also, with exchange of experience in matter of administration and organization of the local government. The last project, next slide please. The last project in Interreg period started in 2015 years and we have a grand idea to have a new project in a culture. There is two places in the two cities, Ceres and Petric, which was AM zone. There is a military zone, which is not needed when we become a part of the European Union. That's why our general idea was to make two museums, two cultural points in the two municipality and create a bridge in the culture between us. Our project was on priority axis 2, sustainable and climate adapted cross-border area, and the project creation of the cultural depot. There is they want to create two cultural poles in Petric and in Ceres. The budget of the project was 1,252,000 euro, and the partners, next slide please, and the partners was the municipality of Ceres, like a lead beneficiary, municipality of Petric, and also Aristotle University and Democrit University in Greece again. Next slide. The needs of us in Petric was for the new space for the exhibition of History Museum. We have a small space. We have not enough space for the new exhibition. Also for to safety. To safety for the artifacts and objects for our phones. And next slide. And this was the main reason that we start to talk with Ceres municipality for this project. Also in Ceres there is a same problem, and they want to create a art gallery for the contemporary art for one of most famous painter in Greece, Konstantin Xenakis. That's why we have similar problems, and the project will be our chance to decide these problems. Next slide. The work in Bulgaria starts in April 19 1990, and we finished the project in 2022 when we opened the new exhibition of the museum in Petric. Of course, there is a COVID crisis, and we have a period when we stopped the work. That's why there is long time from the beginning of the project to the end of the project. Next slide. The beginning, we think that we just changed the infrastructure, but actually this project have a bigger transformation in space, in history, and also on the mind of the population in the city. And also we start to understand the public space and the cultural center like place which is necessary in our everyday life. Next slide, please. I show you a part of our work in progress and our transformation of the space when we transform old build which is not used in the center, which use it every day. Next slide. This is the final result. We have Green Park in the other project, a national project, and this common project will be realized in the same time. How you can see, the Museum of Petric is part of the new town Green Park, and this make possible to change the urban transformation, to have urban transformation. We have a new cultural center in Petric. There is more events in the museum, inside and outside. Next slide. This is the opening ceremony in May 2022. There is many people which expect to have a new space for the culture. There is many official guests. There is ministers from Greece and Bulgaria also, many politics, also people from the science. Next slide. This is the new home of the Petric History Museum. The exhibition space is modern, is attractive, and it can be possible to show all of the Petric history from the ages before Christus to now. We have some exposition which is contemporary. Also, we have Children Museum Academy in the museum. We have enough space for concert, public events. From the beginning of the open in May 2022 to now, we have more than 27,000 visitors. Also, this project have a chance to have a new project with Greek partners, and not only. And we think that Art Museum Constantin Xenakis is in Ceres, and Petric History Museum have a cultural bridge between Greece and Bulgaria, and this was one way for next sustainable future in the partner in Greece and Bulgaria. Thanks for the attention.
Thank you for joining us, Mrs. Stoyanova. Now, as Mrs. Stoyanova showed in her presentation, let's see how the cultural and historical wealth of Petric municipality is presented in a new museum space. We're about to find out in the next video.
С проект подкрепа на социалните предприятия и насърчаване на заетостта по трансграничната програма България-Гърция в Гоце Делчев е изградена оранжерия Цветен град, която функционира от лятото на 2020 година. Сред основните цели на проекта е да предоставя възможности за защитена заетост на лица, които напускат специализирани институции, както и трудова реализация на трайно безработни лица и хора в неравностойно положение в община Гоце Делчев.
С назначаването на тези хора започнахме с обучаването им какво е трудова дисциплина, какво е работно време. Постепенно започнаха да работят. Моето мнение като ръководител е, че хората се чувстват много добре да работят към озеленяването, да работят в това предприятие. Те се чувстват полезни, чувстват се можещи, имат самочувствие, имат доходи.
Оранжерията е с обща площ на обекта над 380 квадратни метра. В допълнение има 6 покрити парника и 2 открити лехи. Съоръжението е модерно оборудвано и в него се отглеждат видове, които са подходящи за климатичните условия в региона.
Оранжерията е много полезна за града и за общината. Отглеждаме всички цветя, грижим се за храстовата растителност, за тревните площи, за засяването на нови дръвчета, за орязването на стари и опасни дървета в града. Имаме договор с 2 детски градини, с болницата в града. Грижим се за озеленяването на повечето училища в целия град.
Оранжерията вече е търсена от хотели и заведения в района, като работниците извършват озеленяването.
От откриването на оранжерията това беше една база, от която да тръгнем. Тук е основата, от която тръгваме. Ние имаме първо, от миналата година имаме награда за социална инновация от Министерството на труда и социалната политика като социално предприятие и това беше доста преди да направим регистрация на предприятието официална като социално предприятие.
С регистрацията като социално предприятие пред оранжерия Цветен град стоят нови възможности за реализиране на проекти, с които да бъде увеличен броят на заетите и обема на работа.
We saw a positive example from the Goce Delchev municipality with the Color City greenhouse. Next to me is the representative of the scientific community in today's conference, an expert from the Southwest University Neofit Rilski. I say hello to Mr. Stanislav Grozdanov, expert in the International Educational Activities Department. Mr. Grozdanov, could you share more about the Interact projects that you have worked on?
First of all, thank you for the invitation. Hello, everyone. Thank you for my introduction. Those forums are really inspiring, especially I myself am really inspired by the project from Greece for the food waste management. It's something really that gives me new ideas how we can build upon this example. Our university, Southwest University, was established in 1976. We are a state-run university. At the moment, we accommodate and we are home of around 7,000 students. Our experience in Interact project lasts for the last 15 years. We have implemented more than 15 projects. I'm going very briefly to mention some of our most recent activities that we have implemented. I will separate the projects in two parts. Some of them are more oriented to soft results. Some of them are more oriented to more tangible results. For example, our project, the promotion and development of cultural heritage and athletic valorization. It's a continuation of a previous project we built upon our sports facilities. And within this project, we managed to build a huge and really a piece of art covered sports hall with 3 tennis courts, which meet all the requirements of WTA, ITF, and ATP. Annually, we host national competitions in this sports hall. Another project which is related to preservation and savings of energy and water is our project called Green Pump. The overall project is to make a system for watering our huge green campus. To keep it green, we needed water, and potable water is not good for watering plants, so we had to create system. Thanks to Interact, we did it, and now our campus flourishes as green as never before. Some of our other projects are social entrepreneurship in the context of the social economy and social innovation. As a university, we not only have education and research function, but we also have a societal function, and we wanted to create the connection between university and business and to educate social entrepreneurs. And thanks to our project, we managed to further improve our skills. Another project which is worth mentioning is the project for reservation and conservation, integrating Bulgaria-Greece cross-border significance, historical and archaeological assets into one sustainable thematic tourist destination. These cross-border areas, we share similar problems and similar challenges. By combining our efforts, we can build upon what we can individually make. And this project is a good example of how we can make touristic destinations more accessible and more attractive to tourists from both countries. Another interesting project is social agri-entrepreneurship for disabled people in the cross-border area. The project aims at the engagement of disabled people in agricultural and rural entrepreneurship. Another project which aims to conserve, protect and promote sustainable environment is our project Mineral Paths, which aims to protect and preserve the mineral springs in the cross-border areas. We have invested a lot of time, effort, expertise on our projects. We managed to send 4 concept notes now with University of Aristotle, because we have guests from the university, and this is why I'm mentioning them, and from other municipalities in the cross-border area. Some of the projects that we're going, I hope, to implement is Game Changers, harnessing sports for sustainable tourism development. Our idea is to make our campus more accessible and more inclusive for people with disabilities. We realize how important it is, and we want to invest in this. Thank you very much for your time, for your attention, and we all look forward to hearing from you and to seeing you in Bulgaria.
Thank you, Mr. Grozdanov. Now, as we previously heard more about this topic, let's go back to Petric municipality and see a video from the new museum space that has been created.
Новото музейно пространство, което община Петрич е изпълнила по проект за трансгранично сътрудничество, е дало възможност да се представи цялото културно-историческо богатство на общината.
Като музейна сбирка той е открит и съществува като институция от 1966 година, но всичкото това богатство, което бе натрупано през годините, нямаше възможност да бъде представено.
Договорът за партньорство между СЕРЕС, Петрич и програмата за трансгранично сътрудничество България-Гърция е подписан през 2016 година. Идеята и нуждата за създаването на ново експозиционно пространство е бил успехът и мащабното развитие на Хераклея Синтика. Това е била и основната причина, която е наложила търсенето на нов вариант.
Голямата цел на проекта е всъщност създаването на един културен мост. Културен мост в пограничния район Серес Петрич, който в тази зона е оценен като район с висок потенциал, район, който има възможност за развитие на туристическите продукти, район, който може да допринесе за културното и икономическо развитие на двете страни, на Гърция и на България.
Стоянова посочи, че с община Серес са партньори по много други проекти и това е било логичното продължение.
В Серес, отново в стара сграда, девоенизирана, се направи галерия за съвременно изкуство, а в Петрич новия дом на исторически музей Петрич. И културния мост, културния диплом, който се получи, има точно тази цел и вече 2 години след откриването на музея всъщност постига резултатите си и дори надхвърля очакванията.
Директорът на музея каза, че освен историческото наследство, новото пространство е дало възможност да се организират и редица изложби, представяния на книги, прожектиране на филми и музейна работилница.
Новите пространства ни позволиха, освен представянето на богатото културно-историческо наследство, да извършим и един много голям обем от допълващи и така подкрепящи работата на музея, популяризиращи неговата дейност събития.
Станислав и Красимира от Кърджали са дошли да разгледат музея в Петрич. За БТА те разказаха, че са останали много впечатлени.
Много са впечатляващи. Просто това не може да се види навсякъде.
Семейството посочи, че биха го препоръчали на свои познати и биха се върнали отново тук.
Our conference has come to its end. We thank all participants and guests of this event, both here in Благоевград and in Thessaloniki. I believe that with today's conference we have contributed to a better understanding of the role of the European Commission's cohesion policy. We hope to witness more constructive projects in the future to make the Благоевград region even more livable. Thank you again.
I'd like to say thank you to all the participants from both countries and from here, from Thessaloniki, the second capital of Greece, as it is. I'd like to say thank you to all the participants from both countries and from here, from Thessaloniki, the second capital of Greece, as it is often called. I hope that this interesting trans-border conference has been a useful one as well. Let's hope that alongside the new projects that will be implemented in the framework of the cross-border cooperation, there will be more events that will make their results better known. We saw that the physical borders may still exist, but they don't when the new technologies come to help. We had participants not only from Thessaloniki and Petrich and Благоевград, but also from Athens and other places. You can read more about the projects we presented today on the internet site of the Bulgarian news agency www.bta.bg. Thank you and see you again.